Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Michael. Didn't forget their Wig Glue with me tonight.
I'm not cute. I'm drop dead gorgeous.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, what's your name?
Did I say that?
She meant drag queen name.
Oh. I don't know about sassy.
That's just your name in general.
I am Phoebe Stanton, or my drag king name is Stanton of Love.
That's great.
Howdy, it's Mario Merriweather Reynoso over here from Bias Gaming.
And I'm just Steve.
Oh my god.
The warden.
Well, thank you for joining us. And so we're here. We're actually here because every year I have Tiffany pick a movie that's special to her for her birthday, which is will be releasing 2 days before her birthday because I release things on Thursdays. So, and we are here to talk about To Wong Foo. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Good job.
Directed by Beeben Kidron and came out in 1995. So
When did it come out, though?
September 8th.
Oh, it's going to be the 30th.
They're
It's
not gonna release it in
exactly
theaters.
1 year older than me.
Shut up.
Yeah, it says September 8th.
Yes.
I'm the 7th, and it's exactly 1 year. I was 1996, so yeah.
I thought it said 85.
It's exactly 1 year older than
No, it's
me.
95.
No, 95?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 96, so it's 1 year older than me.
Yep.
Oh, wait, no, hold on. I'm not doing the math right. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
No, if you're born in 96, you're doing it right.
Yeah, you're right.
You're doing the math.
Stop confusing me.
Sorry.
But yes.
We'll just blame Mario. It's all his fault. How's
Oh,
that sound?
God damn it, Mario.
So this is a movie that I did not plan to do, or even really, I didn't even know this movie existed until
Like bugging him.
that. Yes, I think it was about a year ago. You were like, I don't remember what we were watching or what happened, but something
Triggered it.
Yeah, and then you started going, and then that's when you finally bought this movie on DVD, and we watched it about a year ago, or maybe 6 months ago, at some point.
It's a good movie.
It is. And so that's my history. Tiffany, what is your history with this movie?
I really don't remember. This probably was definitely not a movie I watched with my dad or my mom. So
No?
he's just not a drag queen. However, he might have watched RuPaul with me. Anyways, I don't remember. I just remember watching it.
And Phoebe.
I watched this movie one time before, probably sometime in the 2000s, because my mom saw it on the Netflix DVD queue or something and was like, you would love this movie. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this movie, but my mom was 100% correct.
And Mario.
So my history with this movie is that the only reason why I watched it is because I watched one of John Leguizamo's stand-up specials called Ghetto Freak. I'm sorry, Ghetto Clown. Ghetto Clown.
I like Ghetto Freak.
Ghetto Clown. And in it, he talks about a certain scene, a certain part in the movie. But behind the scenes, though, he had just came back from the bar and he had just finished eating deep fried crickets. And he and Swayze got basically in a little tiff, and it ended with him basically saying, "Oh, we're basically all PMSing because we're all about to fight." And Snipes is over there just, "Oh, I'll hold your purses for you guys." And
You.
basically, it ends up the way he describes it. It basically ends up with him basically looking like the plague, throwing up thoraxis and abdomen of crickets and stuff like that all over Swayze.
Oh my god, that's
And
awesome.
because of that movie, because of that stand-up, like, oh, I have to watch this movie now. And it ended up being a really nice movie. So, yeah.
Right. And Sierra.
I had no history of it. I don't think I've ever heard of this movie until you guys started talking about it. But once I watched the movie, I immediately... Oh, they can see me. Sorry.
Yes,
but
we can
basically,
see
I
all.
immediately... Great.
I don't record video, don't worry.
I already kind of, like, the minute the movie started, I was all like, yeah, I wish someone would have showed me this way before. And it's a movie that my next door neighbor would have totally shown us. It was kind of like, he did the same stuff, all the big drag dressing. It was every Halloween. That's what we waited for, was him strutting his stuff down the what's it called? Driveway over to our house. So, but I'm glad you guys made me watch it.
It was all Tiffany.
Thank you.
You're on this. I'm like, go ask her. I was supposed to ask you, but I kept forgetting.
You just didn't want to.
I forgot. Too many things in my head.
See how it is.
Forgot.
I did actually.
Got your back, bestie.
So I should say the plot of this movie since Ken's not here, I have to do it myself.
Damn.
3 drag queens win free tickets because they win a contest in New York to go to Los Angeles. 2 drag queens, and then a little Italian boy in drag joins them. Puerto Rican boy. No, she said Latin boy. She said,
Yeah, little Latin boy.
They say Latin boy.
Still not Italian.
Look at this little Latin boy in the dress.
"Oh my god!"
Did he say Italian?
What?
No, he's
Oh, maybe I heard Italian. I'm going.
I mean, I'm only drinking cherry Coke, so
I'm not drinking anything.
so little Latin boy, and
He said Italian.
go across the world, get stranded in the middle of nowhere, also known as Nebraska, and then end up in California to go on their way to California.
Ken, where are you?
We need you.
It's also all in the voice. You don't have that voice.
No, I don't have that voice. So that's the plot of this movie in a terrible summary with me not knowing what I said. But you know what? I will check the tapes. Check the tapes when I edit this.
What do I get when you find out you said
Absolutely nothing.
Well, then I don't.
All right, and as I mentioned, this movie is directed by Phoebe Kidron, who really hasn't done that many movies, and apparently is a politician in England. And it made me think, why can't you be a politician here? We need more good politicians in this country. So, hey, you assume that you might be a politician.
We should force the commander and chimp to watch this movie.
I don't know if President Musk would have seen this or not yet.
Closet drag queen. Because he'd look a lot better in women's clothing.
He's a lot of things, and they're not closet because people have found the alt accounts.
Yeah.
I could see it.
But yeah, so she's only done one other movie that I've even ever heard of. I know you mentioned it earlier, Phoebe.
Bridget Jones, the second one.
Okay. But yeah, some of her stuff isn't even on Wikipedia. Like, there's no entry for it, which I find strange when their movies don't have entries. I mean, my podcast doesn't have an entry yet. Someone want to make that Wikipedia entry for me.
Don't want me.
I can do
I don't
that.
want you to. I want someone else to do it. I do want a Wikipedia entry, though. I really do.
It would be the second page I made.
Do it. Because he doesn't want me.
I'd be actually really happy if someone made it. Hey, more people might find it. Like, oh, this is a real podcast. Oh. Yeah, and then this movie stars Wesley Snipes, Patrick Swayze, and John. I cannot say his name.
John Leguizamo?
Yes. And this is also our first Patrick Swayze movie ever on this podcast, and 4th Wesley Snipes movie.
Are the other 4 just the Blade movie? Or the other 3 just the Blade movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Of course. The Blade movie.
Wait a minute.
Of course.
Hey, I like Blade and Blade 2 and Blade Trinity.
Wesley Snipes more than.
Wait, didn't you do Demolition Man?
No, we never did
did.
Demolition Man. We made fun of it before, but we never covered it. No,
Oh my god, you need for Demolition Man.
Cover it.
Game for that.
I haven't seen it in years. I'd be up for it, but
I haven't seen it. Is that the one with so?
yes, that's the one with the seashell joke.
It still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
So someday, isn't Sandra Bullock in that movie too?
Yes.
Yep.
So, and this is the second movie done with John Leguizamo because we did A Violent Night.
Oh yeah.
I love
that. Holy crap.
Let's
Well,
do
yeah.
Romeo and Juliet.
I gotta say though, these are
Oh, yeah,
fucking good actors.
Oh, absolutely.
I will say Wesley Snipes in drag doesn't really work. He's not fish enough for me. But
Mm-mm.
I watch way too much fucking RuPaul in my life for some reason.
We were saying that too. We also sat there when we were saying that John Leguizamo, I can never say his name.
Leguizamo.
Thank you. We just said that he was almost perfect. He looked.
He was the most passable.
Yeah, almost passable. He just needs more hips.
He was
He
very
has no
Rosie
hip.
Perez for me, but I
Yes.
Oh, there were some scenes where Chi-Chi had some hips.
it depends on her outfit.
Eccentric
Can't
because he
always fit
has a
hip
good.
pads in her everything.
Yeah.
But
Some of the
I watched
outfits, man.
too much RuPaul and there's drags that one Courtney Act was her name and Mike. I mean, he was a handsome guy when he was a guy, but when he went and dragged God, it was something else. I mean, there are certain people when they change, they change.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either, but she also was transgender later, and she was a woman. Completely. I can't remember her name.
Passion.
No, it wasn't her. It was a white woman, but I don't remember her name or her drag name or anything. But she was an.
Britney Spears one.
No, it was definitely not him. Not Derek Barry.
Very.
But so that's apparently, as you guys can tell, I have a history with Drag Race because I watched too much of it at one point. Huh.
We couldn't tell.
She went through a phase where she watched it every single day for hours, and she still does it when she wants to sleep. She puts on All Star season 5, 7, and watches it and just puts it on and just sleeps. So I can tell you scenes from that scene because I just walk up from I get done recording or something. Oh, there it is. And I'm like, oh, yep, she's sleeping again.
What's her go-to?
It's her sleeping season.
Okay,
That's
why is
crazy.
it specifically the sleeping season?
You go. Why is it the sleeping season? Why do you love the season?
Oh, they're all my favorite characters, and it's like not really a competition, but it is. Like people don't get kicked off. It had a different vibe, and I like that nobody was stabbing anybody behind the back. And
Okay.
Jinx Monsoon.
Jinx Monsoon is one of her favorite drag queens.
Oh, is Jinx in that season?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Trinity Taylor.
Trinity Tuck, I thought.
Trinity the Tuck Taylor.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's her favorite season, and so like when I was watching this movie, because when we saw it for the first time a year ago, I remember being like, man, these drags are not like, this is not as good the drag I've seen in RuPaul, and like Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes, like Swayze's a freaking talented actor for one thing.
Swayze was very elegant in this
Yes.
one. We kept saying that. We thought of him as a younger, elegant, I would say, what is a country club woman?
Okay. Well, Swayze.
That's how we
Oh god,
You
it's like I want to bring something up now.
Sure, feel
but
free.
I feel like it would make more sense later down the line.
Oh, okay. I know what you're gonna say because we talked about it before, but
Yeah, there's a big fan theory about this movie.
Ooh, I want to
And
hear.
you want to hear it?
Yes,
let's
please.
hear it.
This movie is not about 3 drag queens. This movie is about 2 drag queens and a trans woman.
Oh.
Patrick Swayze is not a drag queen in this movie. Because, like, when you see Wesley Snipes going through the transformation to become Noxema, he's all giggly in one scene and it's kind of like a game. But when you see Patrick Swayze start, he seems so depressed. And then as soon as the hairband goes on, that smile shows up. And not only that, but like, out of all the characters, Vita is the only one worrying about the name on the driver's license, which means that she's actively thinking about changing the name. She wants to talk to her parents and say, this is who I am. There's just so much evidence that points to this is who she wants to be full-time all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, I see that.
Now that you said it, going back.
And it's not a performance thing, it's just who she is. And she hopes people can accept that. And then they even say it with Carol Ann later down the line. You're a lady friend who just so happens to have an Adam's apple.
Mhm.
6 times.
I counted how many times she said Adam's apple in like 30 seconds.
Yes.
Every other
Well,
one.
no, I thought about that, Phoebe, after the 2 times this week. I did think about that, and I'm like, you are right. That fan theory holds up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also, as somebody who's watched too much RuPaul, people aren't just in drag all the time. They do drag when they're going to go perform, and they're going to go put on that character. Otherwise, they're just, like, they made, I remember, some of, like, the background talk are like, do you think I dress like this all the time? Like, they have their other personalities.
But meanwhile, Vita is 24 hours. That's who she is deep down, to the point that she even states Eugene is the name that's on the driver's license, which means she doesn't want it to be the name on the driver's license.
Awful.
Mhm.
What?
No, but I mean, it's just, little things like that really, bring out more to this. And this is 95, so like I was going to say we were still not better yet, but no, as a country, we took a few steps back, about 70, 80 years,
Mhm.
Recently. But I mean, you can like Tiffany was talking about how it's like, oh, this movie's going to hit 30 years. It's going to come back out. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Right then.
Well, it was a lot more chill in the 90s because a couple of years before this, we've talked about in the past with like Alan Wake and stuff, Twin Peaks. There's a transgender kid in Twin Peaks.
Is there really?
Oh,
Yeah, David Duchovny is an FBI agent years before he's Mulder on the X-Files.
Like,
And
I
his
recognize
character-
that name.
His character is a trans woman and starts dating the deputy.
Ooh, get it, girl.
What? I need to watch it now.
And they don't play it as a joke or anything. David Lynch writes the character and plays it completely straight, and David Duchovny plays her completely straight.
yeah, but we were better in the 90s.
We were.
Even our Republican candidates, just wanted to, maybe raise taxes a little bit and not rip off the entire system. There's a difference.
Their
So.
music was better.
But that's neither here nor there. That's how I feel. So, like, no, I don't. This movie's not released.
I was gaming the year you were born.
You were gay the year I was born?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it.
God.
Is this
I
I'm
knew
very
it.
confused too.
I knew it. Is that why you wore my thongs? Is that why you wore my dress?
I never.
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
I
Yes,
thought
you
you
did.
were
Yeah.
gonna be in
This
Drake
is happening.
I cannot find that picture, guys.
That's weird, huh?
Anya says she might have it. I'm counting on it.
I don't think she has it anymore.
Mike,
That was
you're going
that was
to
3
hell.
boyfriends
You
ago.
burned a piece of God's creation.
It was a photo. I had a literally photo because this was before the days of digital photos when I did that. I was like 18. I wasn't even drunk. We had beer, but I wasn't drunk. No, Rich wouldn't have done
I
it.
think in a way, I have a picture of me cross-dressing. I was a male character for Halloween, and I still have that picture. And my boyfriend during the time could not look at me at all.
Why?
Hi.
'Cause he was all like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I'm Joker," and he's all, "Why not a girl character?" I was all like, "I like Joker. Is there a problem with that?" And he would not kiss me. He would not hold me. It was great.
Oh wow, that's terrible.
It was terrible, but
talking about
no, it was not Sam. It was someone before him. Sam, I'm pretty sure, was definitely gay. During New Year's, he had a little bit too much to drink. My dad let us have something to drink, and he has fabulous eyelashes, according to him.
Since we're talking about this movie, why don't you tell them why you thought I was gay the minute I met you?
Yes, I want to hear that story.
So when we first started talking, it was just as friends. I was being pushed towards him. Another friend kind of wanted to get him away from her boyfriend because, well, they were always together. So she was like, well, go see if he's gay or not. Just, go try to flirt with him and stuff. So we started talking, and, the more I just kind of was questioning it because he would wear wigs every time I saw him, and he...
The white hair.
Oh, was it the white hair? Okay, so he had the white hair. My bad. The wigs came later on. He had platinum blonde, not even platinum blonde. It was like silver hair and a long trench coat. And just from there, I don't know. I just had this like fixation with him. And then I asked him one day, I was all like, I think I'd like straight up just asked you.
Cafe.
Well, yeah.
You were making a joke about me. You were saying, Mario, you're actually so freaking gay. And I go in a gay voice. I go, sweetie, if I was gay, I wouldn't like you. And I walked away with that twist and everything.
Mario,
Hair
were
flip,
you
a turn,
founding
and walked out.
father?
What?
Mario, were you a founding father of this country?
I had a devil may cry face, so I always had like white hair or silver hair and a red trench coat.
That's where it's from.
The white hair,
That's
yes.
okay. We won't tell him about the shower scene with Caleb.
Ooh. Shower scene.
All right, so this movie. Do you want to do this beat by beat, or do you want to just talk about it whole? Because
I want to be by beat, but you clearly don't go by whole.
I know you read my mind.
No, you just said, do you want to go beat by beat?
Maybe you act like I ask you things when I don't want to actually do them. That's so
Yes.
crazy. How can you say that?
Every day.
With us, Justin.
But no, you brought up some really. Oh, I also want to say RuPaul's in this movie, but I don't know why RuPaul's not playing RuPaul. She's in one scene.
I didn't understand that part either.
It's like, why not play? I mean, RuPaul would have is somewhat. I mean, the other drag queens are all playing their own characters. I don't know why RuPaul is a different character. Yeah, because I was looking at the credits and it's like, why isn't RuPaul?
Speedy Bunny is in there, and I totally missed it.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, when
Because it's
RuPaul
funny.
came down.
Because it's
What?
funnier that way for RuPaul to not be playing RuPaul.
Okay, I kind of get it.
But also, why is RuPaul wearing a Confederate flag dress?
That's what me and my sister and Mario all questioned. We about died when we saw that.
Okay, like Tip said, it was her mocking it then.
Yeah, that's what we kind of figured. Just, it was great.
I mean, it does fit the theme of the movie to have that because Confederacy, stands for a lot of hatred and bigotry that would be against trans, I'm pretty sure, and drag queens. And is currently, like the people that are going to be having those flags.
RuPaul's also not white.
Yeah, that too.
He's wearing the Confederate flag.
But I was also thinking through watching that, I'm like, you know what, Wesley Snipes, you do not look like you should not have won this contest. There are a lot better looking drag queens that probably perform better than you did too. That's what I kept thinking of in this movie. I don't know, Wesley Snipes it was something about him. It was just too.
Patrick Swayze does it for you.
Patrick Swayze can pull, like what Phoebe said. Like she works for that. Like you can it's just something about the acting and the believability where something about Wesley Snipes is very, I don't know.
Dole.
I mean, he's a good actor. Like, he does it in here. His voice is different. Like, he pulls it off. He plays Noxema, but he's just too
broad.
He doesn't. I've watched enough drag queen shows. Stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Something that wasn't doing it.
He's too exaggerated, is what it is. So Chi-Chi it is acting like the typical, like 90s Latina, like, oh, I'm so all that batch and shit. Snipes is doing a little bit too much frou-frou black woman trying to impress the white woman thing. That's exactly like she's being the typical, stereotypical, over-the-top black. Too much.
Yeah, but that might be the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see if they were just kind of making fun of the specific stereotypes of
That's what it seemed like to me, that it was just like that.
I was also kept thinking about this movie where they're traveling across the country. They wouldn't have still been in drag because they would have not been performing, so they would have dressed down.
Most, as far as I know, most drag queens don't like in public in their drag unless they're performing.
Or doing the stupid stunts on the RuPaul show.
They have to take, hours to do some of the makeup and the hair, depending. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Like,
Yeah,
I really put makeup on as it is.
I have never used Wig Glue before, but that's got to be some of the strongest glue I've ever seen. They are driving down the interstate and nothing is blowing off. Really?
It pull out down the interstate, but it gets snatched by a...
That scene is dumb. Okay, that scene does not fit.
Where's your wig glue, girl?
Oh my god.
It just made me kind of...
Glue hurts like a...
You're telling us, huh, Dante? If I start referring to you as Dante now? Devil May Cry, the main character with the silver hair.
Sure.
I was trying to get some kind of reaction.
Flashbacks with him being called Dante right now.
Mainly by my uncle.
Oh.
Just to make fun of him. But he says it with a Mexican accent, so he goes, Dante. Not.
Okay.
It's not Mario who came in right now. It's not Mario, it's Dante.
Is it because you dressed up?
Huh?
Is it because of Devil May Cry?
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, because of the hair, but that's why he called me that.
One of the scenes that really makes me laugh that I do want to talk about is the late great Robin Williams in this that I completely forgot was in the. Even though I've seen this now 3, I keep forgetting.
It was great to see him in that, and the best part about it was like a year after this, he did Birdcage, so it was even better. So I love it.
So he just expanded on his character.
Also on this podcast.
Also on this.
Yeah, he did.
Robin Williams is so damn good. Like, I guarantee you that 90% of that was all ad-lib.
You can tell between him and John Leguizamo that they were just going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was probably all improv, but...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he did.
Not with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, he like all his movies. That's all he did.
Oh, beautiful.
He's mostly, like, even with Aladdin, a lot of the lines in Aladdin were just ad-lib to what he did, and they just filmed and like, okay, they just animated it. Like, they just, not to mention also they cut out.
Made the movie around him.
Well, can you imagine what they cut out to make that scene shorter? Like, they probably had a half.
Or more, easily more. And how many takes they had, like.
It was on tape.
Oh.
No, I'm saying.
Okay, I mean, hey, you never know.
You're talking about the cutout scene for like
John Jacob Damon Smith or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I wonder that name too. Like, I wonder if that was in the script or he just said, "My name is John Smith."
Oh my god, I about cried because I cried when I heard that when they were going back and forth with the song, and Mario's all, what? And I was like, it's John Jacob
Smith. Do you know this?
I do, yes. His name is my name too. Yes,
I used to sing it all the time, and then it's also reminded me of the movie In the Army now because they sing it in that one. So,
oh my god,
great.
But Robin Williams is such a good actor. Like, my god, I miss him. That was one of the deaths that hit me hard. It really did.
Imagine all the movies that would exist, for better or worse, or would be so different with him in it.
Right?
I understand. Like, if I was watching a documentary, now I understand why he committed suicide. Because he had, was it not Parkinson's? He had one of them.
He had some sort of dementia.
But he had one of the bad ones, like really bad. One of the really bad ones. I can't remember. Maybe it was Parkinson's.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's why he killed him.
Sort of dementia.
That's why he took his life, because he was starting to forget. And he was just it doesn't get better. And so he took his own life on his terms.
I thought it was just severe depression.
I mean, that too, but...
Said that he was battling that, but...
He was also found out that he had some kind of dementia, and he was starting to forget things.
Lewy body dementia.
Yes. Lewy body's awful.
What, you've never witnessed it?
And
no, but I live with a woman who worked in memory care and has told me.
I was going to say, I've witnessed this.
Yeah, it's awful. Like, when we found that out, we kind of understood then why he did what he did, because he wanted to go out in his terms, as Tiffany said before.
Part of Lewy bodies is part of you is still there and aware of what you're doing, but you can't help what your body is doing.
It sounds
Oh,
like torture.
fuck that.
Right?
Yeah. That's why he took his life. I mean, it's awful, but it's like it's a very bad disease, and with dementia, there is no getting better. You just continuously get worse as time goes on. So I understand. I understand now why he took his life with that, and he wasn't gonna be able to do anything. He left on his terms.
I mean, I can understand that. He did it his way.
So I love him as an actor. Like he just. I need to cover more of his movies on this podcast, and I'm sure Ken will agree with me if he hears this. But so eventually, but no, it's such a good
I
scene.
don't know if you caught that reference real quick. I'm sorry. It was a Robin Williams reference where he sang "My Way" in Happy Feet.
Really?
I've never seen Happy Feet.
Yeah.
The Frank Sinatra one?
The Frank Sinatra song. I think he's singing in Spanish on the movie Happy Feet when he's the little penguin guy behind Mumble and stuff.
Beautiful.
Sorry, that's why I had to say it.
No. This is all great. Mike, you have to cover Hook.
Okay, I'm sure. Hey, you can sit in the Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. So
You're weird.
yes, I am. The part when they buy the Cadillac, there's such a good scene in there when the guy's like, "You should take the Toyota Corolla. This thing is not going to get you to Los Angeles." And they're like, "Style or substance?" They see themselves in the mirror. They're like, "Style."
I love that. It was a
Every-
great setup for the whole movie.
Why doesn't every dealer have that? Because
This is a sleazy dealer to begin with.
I mean, I think
Well, actually, most used car salesmen are sleazy dealers.
Anything
I almost
on the
became one.
lot, $50.
So how much is that in today's money, though?
More.
Oh, I will go do the math right now.
Okay.
But I mean, still not very much for a car.
No.
Like, I mean, part of it was I think Robin Williams was essentially supposed to be kind of like paying part of it or something. Like there was something involved where he had something.
Oh.
Yeah, like if they pay
Yeah.
him back or something.
Yeah, that's how I took it. I don't think the car was just $50.
I
Like
mean, some customers, so
Yeah.
it's probably like we're even.
something of that nature. Is how I took it.
And the guy seemed nice, besides being a sleazy face. But lady,
Come on. He told me you don't want this car.
oh, don't take that car.
He tried to warn them.
Yeah,
Drag Queen's got to go in style.
but it is all the scenes with them just driving the car.
All right.
I like them. Yes.
Tiff, $50 in 1995 in today's money is $102 to $103, which is a super, super cheap way to get a new car.
Right?
Yeah.
Like nothing for $100.
You could buy a few dozen eggs.
You can buy Smite 2, the ultimate pack. Or
How do you know
car.
that, Phoebe?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh my god.
Curious. One of the scenes that's really like touching to really set this movie apart from being a jokey comedy is when Vita goes to her mom's house because they end up driving that way, and then her mother sees her, but because she's not, the son, and she's, in drag and wants to be a woman, like she just acts like she doesn't exist, and that's a really strong scene.
Well, okay, so I feel like there's a bit of a pause. Like there's that recognition, and it looks because of that pause like she's about to do something positive, and then she turns around and goes through the door.
Yeah, I thought she was going to flip her off or tell her to go or start screaming at her or something. Because that pause, it looked like she was going to say something or there was going to be a more bigger moment instead of her just turning around and going inside.
And the
They
silence
could've
is
said
so much
more,
worse.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
The silence is
is worse.
loud.
And I think silence is one of the common things that, would fit what somebody might do to someone in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You just ignore it. Like it's not real. That's what people tend to do.
Still today?
Denial.
So, yeah, they just deny it. I mean, your child is your child. Who gives a fuck they're as long as they're happy, that's all that matters.
And
Exactly.
not serving time in prison? That's
Well, that too. But still love them.
Still love them. Even though they're in prison, you'll still love them. Maybe a little disappointed, but you'll still love them.
So, but again, I'm not shocked that people are, like, this is how real people are. So, the movie's portraying it well, but it's just, this movie tried to go for a very, it feels like a jokey comedy at first, but there's so much heart to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is one of those really heartfelt moments,
Yeah, like a lot of good
even though they do
heart.
I didn't like them throwing away the map. That bothered me. It did. How can you throw away your map? You don't have GPS because it's 95.
Because-
What are you doing?
The whole
Because
car was
Vita's
upset.
parents still hold power over her,
Mm-hmm.
and that silence was the tipping point. She acted out of emotion.
Yeah, basically she threw it because she was saying she knows what direction she's going in. Fuck this shit. I don't need your map.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Symbolism. Oh my god.
I did not catch that.
Yeah, boom. Sorry.
No, I did not
Oh
catch
my
it at all. I'm
God.
impressed. No, I'm impressed. Normally I can pick up on shit like this. I did not pick up on that. And 3 times.
I've
Not
seen
that long
way
ago.
more than that.
I mean,
So-
like, that's what I thought when I saw that part, but then also, too, I was all like, please don't fucking throw the map. Someone get out, get the map. You're gonna, like, something's gonna happen. We
if you
already
don't have
know.
a map, you might end up middle of nowhere in Nebraska. You know?
Literally.
Nebraska, right, Phoebe?
I can confirm that town.
It's real.
There are places that feel that like that. That
I was
are
gonna
that
ask you
quiet,
that.
dilapidated, that have 6 people living there, and it is fucking wild going from Boston to this.
That town, they actually did film in a real town, Nebraska.
That's not surprising.
It has 54.
Even more scary.
Well, they need to.
That's what
That's
people
more than the town that I know of.
How many people are in your town?
1,000 and something.
God, that is too small.
Everybody knows everybody.
I don't want
But
everybody to
also
know.
has one of the best coffee and breakfast places I've ever been to.
Do they serve Black Triangle coffee, Phoebe?
Coffee.
A joke for very particular people. Sorry.
What's wrong with you?
A lot.
Oh.
Where should I begin?
No, we don't have that much time.
Okay. Depends on which ailment you want to go on. Some of my video game crazes, some of my other crazes, where these some fetishes came from. I can tell you all that. But we're not going to do that right now.
Oh,
We're-
Tiff, you're on games my mom found.
Game of
We're
After
all
Dark.
crazy
That's
here.
never happened yet.
We should get into your drag mode one. So, what kind
Ooh,
of
I put on
drag
the
would
dress.
you be in?
I do remember why. Because my friend wanted me to, because his girlfriend said she would do something for him if he put on the dress. He never did tell me what. I didn't ask. I'm pretty sure I know what it was. And so I put on the dress. I'm like, fuck it. And all 3 of us put on dress. Even the single guy girlfriend put on the skirt. And then we played Guitar Hero.
This is amazing.
And I looked good in that pink prom dress. I was in shape at 18, 19. No, not so much. But
Too bad we can't see the photo.
no, I'm not too.
was short because his girlfriend's like 5'3", so.
At the time, yeah. She's still short, but she was my girlfriend at the time. But yes. I'm not sure whatever happened to all that. Pretty sure all that got destroyed at some point. Yeah, no, it did.
I 100% believe Tanya has it.
The photo?
Yes,
I doubt it.
I do. Somewhere on a device.
That was 3 boyfriends ago.
You keep saying that.
I'm going to keep saying that. Oh, I could say other things. But when you have that scene, I guess we are going kind of. But that scene like with Chi-Chi where they get into an argument and that's another thing too. Because it does play back later on. When she's like, I'll just leave. Fuck you guys, because they're being assholes to her.
Mhm.
They are a little bit, yeah. Like,
Jumps out the car for the first time?
yeah.
Okay.
Before when they're calling her like, you're not a drag queen, you're a boy in a dress.
Yeah, basically they're saying like, oh, because you haven't gone through this, you're just still like a little boy in a dress. You're not what you feel like. So basically they did the same thing that everybody did to them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
But the idea is don't carry on the bullshit that happened to you. But I get it. Like, people will push on their trauma to other people.
The psych.
I think as a culture we were starting.
Word, sticky word.
But so one of the scenes that really makes me laugh every time I see this, the 3 times I've seen this movie, even though I've never seen White Man Can't Jump, the fact that they have one little scene of Wesley Snipes playing basketball for no reason at all cracks me up.
In a tennis.
Yeah,
And the
Trump was
fact that he
I was thinking the same thing too.
Like,
Is that why
it had to be what it was.
That's why that's why because of White Man
I
Can't Jump.
understand it now. I was all at first. I was like, "What? What does that mean?" Because Mario was just like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
I forgot about it. That's why.
Okay.
I've never seen White Man Can't Jump, but I know it's a movie and I know it exists.
Marry you.
Because I'm like, you laugh.
No.
So that's all I got. Oh, there's a scene where they're driving by and everybody's in the train dancing to She's a Brick House.
She's a
Oh
brick.
god, yeah. That's on the way there. Yeah.
Moment.
I call it
Randomness.
Soul Train.
Oh god.
Right, soldier.
I almost thought it was gonna like they were gonna hit something, like they were gonna drive into something, or the train was gonna
Yes.
hit.
Same. I was like,
It
has
had
to
that
be.
feel like it was leading up to some kind of catastrophe, like
Yeah.
funny catastrophe or something.
Like Looney Tunes into a
No,
Yeah.
I know you got upset because when Swayze's driving, he's not have his hands on the wheels, and you're like, like, I mean, I drove like that too. There's been times where my hands are like, I was keeping close to the wheel because I'm a paranoid.
voguing. She was.
I was not. I've had my hand one on my leg and on the wheel, kind of touching it, and then the other hand doing other things,
She was.
like playing with the phone. So, phone.
So
not-
Tiffany, tell me more.
Let's see Mike Vogue in the dress.
no. We'll never see Mike in a dress again. This body ain't gonna fit in the dress, I'm pretty sure. So
Will I
roomy.
see you in dress?
Never say never. I will drag you out to cosplay.
Yeah.
I have not. I have cosplayed before, but it's been a long time.
No.
Group cosplays. Group
Cosplay.
cosplays.
He was like,
Group
Clark Kent.
cosplay as.
I did Clark Kent and I did Indiana Jones.
and what's
We
his
all
name?
to go as the sailors.
Alan Grant. And I went to Cub and bought
Oh,
chicken and somebody
Lord.
made fun of me.
He too.
It's a nice hat. I'm
You
like,
could be Mercury, babe.
so
You
I
look
remember being
good,
irritated.
babe.
But that was it. Oh, but then the scene with the cop really kind of hits to it. To me, that's kind of my opinion of some of those areas of the country. Like, I feel like that wasn't that far an exaggeration of real people
It is not.
far off. Because he's a sheriff. He's a sheriff in whatever small town he's in, and the thing with the collective.
Oh,
I
no,
mean-
no, 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 no.
What?
He is a county
He's a
cop.
He's a what?
Oh.
County
Yeah.
cop. So it just that whole scene also kind like the whole fact that he pulls them over and then it, instead of just doing his job and like, hey, like like you're supposed to do, like also make sure they don't have a body in a duffel in a black garbage bag in the back of the car because they just murdered their first boyfriend. Jeffrey Dahmer, not Jerry Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer when the cop pulled him over in the middle of the night and he said, "I'm just taking out the garbage. My parents are fighting. Everything's fine." And they could have stopped the murder right there, but nope.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how Jeffrey Dahmer first got away with it because he was able to talk his way out of it when a cop pulled him over at 3 a.m. with a dead body in the car.
Brilliant.
So that's how he learned. I can talk.
What?
So yeah, be calm. Be calm under pressure, and people won't suspect you as much. I watched hours and hours of a Disney Plus show or like a reality show that just happened to be on Disney Plus about the guys when you're coming across the country, the border patrol and stuff like that for the planes. And yeah, if you're carrying drugs, don't act nervous. And don't lie to them in the same sentence that you're talking to them because that ain't gonna end well. So, but yeah, that's what they look for. So now I know if I ever was to, bring drugs across, I know what not to do. I'm not going to ever bring drugs.
Wonderful.
That's actually really
Now
interesting,
I'm
though, by
gonna
the
try
way.
that while I keister some drugs.
Babe.
But the whole so when the cop why is the cop trying to feel up Swayze? Like, what the fuck?
Because he thinks
Because,
He
sleazy
thinks
cop.
he's a career girl, which I thought was great because they did the whole double entendre on the career girl. But that's the part that I hated that part, but loved it. What?
Is that supposed to be like a reference? Like, do they think it's a reference to a hooker? How they
Yes.
took? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they think that he's a hooker because they're professionals and stuff like that. That's what he's basically saying. That's why he was like, okay, well, step out the car, come this way and everything. That's why he was like basically gonna get something from her to get out of the ticket.
Okay.
Or that's what I kind of saw it
But
as.
also, I don't know. I just can't see myself I can't. I wouldn't do it. Like, how can you be that piece of a shit where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna grab someone? Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, we voted for a
Yeah, you're not the president, Mike.
president. That,
How the hell that?
he's not really the president. So
How the
Yeah,
hell
no,
did
he isn't.
the
How
guy
the hell
that
did he pick up someone? How the hell did he pick up somebody full of muscle like Swayze? Though is my question.
I was wondering the same thing.
That's what
He's like a feather. He was like, whoop.
Oh, but when Swayze's voice changes when he grabs his dick, oh god,
Hey, buddy.
it's so funny. But I'm like, this doesn't feel right. But at the same time, it's good. But yeah, and then they think they killed the cop because he fell. I don't know how he was unconscious for a day from that fall.
Yeah.
Non-lethal
pushed
heart
them.
attack.
But it also brings up a good point. Like his whole hatred because he almost, because he mistaked a woman for a guy. Like that whole thing. If I said it right, but that's a real thing. I feel like I think that's partly of like the stupid hatred that we are seeing right now in our country with the whole going against transgender and gays because it's that I knew a guy that I used to work with at one point where he was telling some story once about how he was in some other city and there were people who were trans and one of his guys was going to go sleep with these women and they were all him and how it was a big joke and I'm like, I mean, one, they were hookers, so but that was part of it, but it was just a really dumb joke and I'm just like, this is why people have that stupid hatred because it's like this whole idea like if you're attracted, you're attracted. It's not, get over it.
It'd still be attractive in a
So but I think that's what comes with that stupid hatred, and it's so many people that are closeted in religion and other bullshit. But that's all I just kept thinking about when I watched the movie. How he goes on such a crusade just because he was an idiot, so he's going on a crusade.
That's my theory.
Please.
That he's a closet gay and
Thank you.
in love with Patrick Swayze and has to find his Cinderella.
I mean, they do drop a shoe in the Cinderella reference.
Well, okay, yeah, when we were watching this earlier, my roommate even brought up just the way in the bar when he won't shut up about men caressing each other, and it's
And
like,
their
oh my
breath,
god,
I'm like-
he is so gay.
So gay.
He is so in the closet, darling, that there's no light hitting him right now.
That was a good scene, though. The guy sitting
That
next
is a
to
good
him.
scene.
We're like, the fuck is
I mean, yeah, it fit. It looked like a shitty bar and a shitty middle thing. So,
Well, looking around, everybody is
Dude.
giving him looks, and you can't tell if it's because they like, ugh, why is he talking
Dude.
about the types of people, or are they going, why is he talking about this out loud? We don't care.
right.
You can't tell the vibe of the bar.
no, you can't. I took it. My mindset was that they thought he was gay and didn't like it.
That's what I thought. He is gay, but
Do you
That's all
think that's what? Do you think that's why he turned to a life of crime and started selling weapons in C4?
I don't know what movie he's in later that he does that.
Rush Hour.
Oh,
What
I
is
didn't see
that
that
him?
movie long.
He's in the
Yes.
beginning of Rush Hour, the first one.
What?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
This is when they
Why?
finally end up getting into the town of Snydersville, which is based on the real Nebraska city, or filmed in the real Nebraska city of, I said it earlier, Loma.
we're going there someday.
It's 6 hours from here. I'm
Wait, did you just say Alma?
Loma, Loma.
Oh,
You should look it up and see how far it is from you. I'm curious.
I'm doing that right now. Okay, so OLMA does not exist anymore.
Loma.
Yeah, I typed in OLMA. I can't find it. ALMA should be like an hour from me. Maybe.
I'm sending you the name of the city and zip code. So, but so Snydersville is not a real town, but it was filmed in Nebraska. At least should
Yeah, I
be
was gonna
smart.
say the town that I'm thinking of is where our vet is.
There's a reason why those are called the flyover states.
You're not
Pretty sure.
wrong. When they're doing the drive and there's literally nothing on either side of the road, I'm like, yeah, I feel that.
So I drove 3 hours through Iowa at one point because we went to where the plane crashed for Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, Richie Valens. And we drove from there to Sioux City, and it literally was 3 hour cornfields and windmills. And I'm
Well,
like,
yeah, there's
took a
nothing there. Even I was disturbed when we had to drive through Iowa. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
nothing. But when I went
the
like
children of the corner.
when I went the better route from St. Croix to St. Paul, it actually wasn't bad. Like, it was highways, and there were towns. We passed by a giant Pocahontas statue. Like, there was
Something
stuff to
like that.
see.
Oh,
What?
Loma.
Yeah.
Loma. Why was I typing in OLMA?
I
No,
don't have
that's
an answer for you.
holy shit. That's like right near Omaha.
Oh no. Driving through Texas through the west is just as bad because there's like nothing for beyond 3 hours. It sucks. Like no service, nothing.
I don't like this.
I can believe that. I've looked at maps of Texas every so often. I've gotten the west side of Texas.
It's taken us 3 days. 3 days before to get through Texas, all the way. My grandmother and my dad like to do that trip a lot because I have a lot of cousins out there. So yeah, those long stretches of absolutely nothing.
That's hard driving. That I remember trying to fall asleep, and I couldn't listen to my podcast either because I was sitting with my mother talk to me, or then she plays her phone. I'd put on a podcast, and she'd start talking to me, or she'd be on the phone talking to someone else.
Sleeping.
You'd wake up, eat, and go back to sleep.
I have confirmation that this is now a ghost town. It exists. Nobody lives there.
I thought you said there's people in there.
As of 2000, in 2000 census, there were 54.
25 years ago.
Oh my
We should
God.
go now.
They've either all died or all gone somewhere else.
Well, maybe they didn't believe in the vaccine, so they're not around anymore. Okay.
They went on their own track pilgrimage after these three showed up.
So the small scene when they're decorating the room when they first get into town, they get the place, and then they have the Wonder Woman song playing in the background. That is great.
But they're doing all these movements from Bewitched or I
Yeah.
Dream of Genie.
I don't know why, but it's still a cute scene.
It was like all the iconic things that they were doing for just that. My favorite part was when they threw the ribbon and it made a whole little katana. Not katana, my bad. What is
Cute.
it?
I don't know what's called. Cute moment. Like,
But
it just,
yeah, when they put it on the wall and everything, it was so awesome. I thought that was really cute how they did that.
me too. So I want to ask you. I have a question for Phoebe. So when they're talking with the woman that's gossiping and she calls the guy a colored, like, there are not still people that talk like that in Nebraska, are there?
No, thank God.
Well, okay, good. I wouldn't be that surprised that you run into that before, to be honest with you.
No, I have not run
Bar
into
stories?
anything like that. Thank the Lord.
We know you have run into alcoholics, though.
Oh yeah,
crash
absolutely.
cars.
I've ran into alcoholics, especially at work. And then no, since
The whole time.
Well, she was in the car The guy that was a drunk driver and then decided to flip over the car and found out a third or fourth time he did it.
Oh my.
Yeah, and so
I
yeah,
was glad that you
I
were
refuse
alive.
to ever drive in the snow unless it's like it snowed while I was at work, and even then, I only trust one person to drive me.
Is it?
Like we're supposed to have a snowstorm for Monday and Tuesday. I've already put in the vacation time for those 2 days.
You're like, nope.
Yeah, no, I'm never doing that again.
I don't blame you.
The fact that
Also-
they decided I was coming in, like I left them a message saying, "Hey, this just happened. Call me back." I seem to be fine, but I'm not entirely sure. Internal bleeding and everything could be happening. I don't know. And then nobody ever called me, and they expected me to come in that night, and it was an overtime weekend day. So when I left that day, 24 hours after the event, my shift lead goes, "Okay, we'll see you on Sunday. Thank you again for coming in. We're so sorry nobody called you." And I looked straight into his eyes. I said, "No, you will fucking not." And I did not show up the next day.
Wouldn't either.
You were
Damn.
in an accident and almost died.
They don't care. They care about hose.
No, they don't.
And not the fun kind. They care about like garden hose and shit.
Okay.
You didn't like your joke?
No, I wasn't. I'm thinking. Brain.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's more meaning to that joke, but I don't want to ask, and I do want to ask.
Prostitutes.
Substitute hose.
Oh,
I knew he didn't get it.
My joke, I think he's got it.
Hold
No,
on.
everybody's been super chill with me. So
So they have a scene in here that so I'm not wrong in the part where down and all the guys kind of start getting a little too close. That was supposed to be intended rape, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then a severe beating once they find out she's.
yeah, because they are a bunch of rednecks. So
Well, yeah, because at first she was like okay with it when she saw the guy. She's all like, "Ooh, okay, this." Starts talking about a story, and then got scared when she's all like, "I didn't think this is supposed to be a party," and then that's when she's all, "Ah, shit."
and they are just such creepy looking fuckers too. Like the way they just kind of come out of there. And
Children of the Corn.
you in that movie? That movie's not that bad or that
and then
scary.
Bobby Ray coming in with that pickup truck.
That's a good scene.
What a prince.
All I could think of was McConaughey going, all right, all right, all right.
Son of a bitch.
Pink Floyd likes little boy girls in dresses, man.
That's what I love
great.
about drag queens. I keep getting older. They stay the same age.
But it gives a reason for Chi-Chi to be attracted to Bobby Ray. Like, it works well, even though... And I do like it that Bobby Ray doesn't realize that, she's a drag queen. I think that's also good.
The town doesn't really.
No, but also it makes sense because you're dealing with... These are supposed to be, one, stupid men, in general, who aren't educated, who haven't probably left the desert town they're living in. Like, they don't have the knowledge that other people are different outside of your town, which ends up making you a closed-minded fool. So, I think everyone needs to leave their hometown and experience different parts of life. It's like you just
No, you don't.
Well, I didn't say go from a city to go to city to a different city. So, like a progressive city, like St. Paul, Phoebe. You want you to move up here, Phoebe. Very, very much so. I want to hang out with you,
I would love to hang out with both of you.
and then we can go down to Missouri and meet Joe.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Or we could just drag him up as well.
Road trip.
Missouri would be a long road trip.
Well, since I don't drive, yes.
Yes, and Kansas City, I think is like 8 hours. So
Do you
You've
not think
saying that, I was
Massachusetts
like
to Nebraska is a long road trip?
I wouldn't drive it; I'd fly. So
Yeah.
but
We drive to Wisconsin. I'm from Wisconsin.
very, very seldom.
God, it's 6 hours.
I don't like driving that much. I have a
The
limit.
prices though are so fucking nice.
I don't like. I'm going to be driving from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to where I am now, which is like a 5.5 hour drive. I'm not looking forward to it at all. A lot of podcasts because I get sleepy when I drive. And my wife goes to sleep, so I'm like, you got to talk to me and keep me awake. Okay.
That's why you play very loudly your podcast.
They help me stay awake.
Well, okay, that's fine. I'm not talking to you for 6 hours.
I know, but at least you won't be sitting there on the phone talking to other people like your mother did to me because she won't sleep in the car. I'm like, can't you just go to sleep like your daughter? Go to sleep. Oh, so one of the scenes that I want to talk about next is when the stuff with Carol Ann and her shithead of a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that whole part where when Vita puts spice in because she's trying to make the stew or whatever the fuck they're cooking better, and the guy's like, it's too spicy, and his solution is to throw the pot later on.
Yeah, is that happening on the same day, or did she just go, you know what? Vita's right. It does need more paprika.
It's all the same. It's all Saturday. This movie essentially takes place over a few days, but like when they're in Nebraska, they get in there Saturday. Friday night, they break down. Saturday morning, they're there. They find out the car, and the guy's like, I gotta fix it in 5 minutes when I get part on Monday.
I mean, to be fair, it was an old Cadillac.
No, I don't blame him for not having the part in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't blame him at all.
Who drives old Cadillac?
I don't think that many people.
Oh, I can tell you they have the part. The amount of auto shops out here is baffling.
I mean, to be fair, people that have a lot of land like to abandon. I have driven enough through northern Minnesota and southern Minnesota and other random places. And you find a lot of cars parked in people's yards that you can tell have not been driven in years.
Because since there's such long drives, you have to keep the vehicle maintained, and so there's a high demand for auto places.
Who the fuck is driving through Nebraska? I'm not trying to be joking, actually. I'm like, is it some place? I mean, I feel like it can't be that place of a common place to drive through.
Nebraska did nothing.
Did a lot to me. You hurt me here.
No, this is
A bunch
not
of people
that
trying to go to Colorado to get pot.
I can go to a store 5 minutes from here and get pot.
That's not.
Fuck you.
That's what I was gonna say, dude. That's
That's close enough.
We never
I can
really
eat it and
left
get high.
California.
Just like Joe does all the time on the show. So he does all the time. And
I
we freaked him the fuck out on one of the episodes. I forget what it was, but Vampires Rise was not out at the time of hearing this. We freaked the fuck out because he was pretty damn high. And then one of the guys said, "Hey, you're finally awake."
No.
And he's like, "Oh, you really fucked with me." Go with an episode.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Here.
Joey,
I didn't do
love
it.
you.
I did not do it. I just was there as a half.
Please wake up.
But the whole thing, like when you see the fact that the fact that her husband is essentially going to beat her up because of the spike, like he actually going to hit her to make her jump, and then like smiles about it. It's like, what a piece of shit.
I mean, there are people who are still like that today.
Oh, I know. Oh, 100% know. I've met people like that. Like I hate people like that. I really do. I am not okay when we've had friends, husbands treat them like shit, and I do not like. It pisses me off. I am not okay when somebody's spouse treats them like crap. Like, no, I do not. I cannot stand it.
Nope.
So,
Listen.
and you see it.
Maybe, just maybe, murder is sometimes warranted and acceptable.
Correct.
I mean, yes, but the consequences will still come out of it. So, and they have to. But that's neither here nor there. We do know, forget someone you're related to, Tiff, killed their husband with a frying pan in like the early 1900s.
Oh yeah, so it would probably be my great grandma.
Yeah, and then she got kicked out of town because she committed murder.
He was abusing her.
Yeah, but that was
Are you
okay
talking
back
about
then.
our neighbor?
What neighbor? Oh no, you had a neighbor that killed somebody.
Yeah, she killed her abusive husband, went to trial, and got off for it. It was in the papers and everything.
No, I was talking about the one that killed him with a frying pan.
Yeah, that would be my great grandma, I believe.
I just think it's funny how they chased her out of town, essentially, because they were upset that and like it was probably a small town. Everybody knew he beat up women, so I doubt it was a surprise. Like, oh, he got killed finally. Yeah, probably deserved it. But no, they chased her out of town. All right, but
So was it they ran her out of town, or was it a go be free? If the cops show up, we'll tell them you ran
no, she
away.
went to trial and was found not guilty also, but no, they ran her out of town. She couldn't.
My great
she couldn't.
grandmother
Yeah,
did? Oh.
Your mother tells the story.
Okay, good. But he listens to it more than I do, apparently. Knows more about my great grandma than I have.
Stories about exchange. What can I say? So I
Taking notes.
I have taken a lot of notes, but there's that writer in me too. But no, to commit murder and get away with it is very, very difficult.
Sure, for a writer.
So, let's see a couple things to mention here. But yeah, just I do like that Virgil finally gets his upcomings when he gets his ass beat by Vita, and I just love that where Vita's like, okay, I'm sick of this shit, and she goes in there, and when Chi-Chi's about to tell Carol Ann, the wife that was getting beat up, that he's
a man.
Yeah, and then instead.
So Vita works out a lot.
But I'm also pretty sure there's women that can beat the shit out of men too, just fine. Oh, it's just a good scene. I feel like most of the guys have no idea about them being drag queens, except for the black guy. I feel like the black guy knows. The one at the bar.
I thought about that.
Just the way he acts.
He looks familiar, though. Who is that? That
Okay.
Tommy probably knew.
Yeah, I mean, the women know, which, again, I've said this many times, maybe not the podcast, but women are smarter than men. We are stupid.
Jimmy Joe or Jimmy John.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Johnny Joe. What's his name?
Jimmy Joe.
Wait, what?
The black guy at the restaurant, the bar. Yes, he knew. That's what I was saying before you
Jimmy
ran
Joe,
away.
Jimmy John. John Joe? What?
Jimmy John is sandwiches.
It's Jimmy
that aren't very
Joe.
good or worth what you pay for them.
Sausage, but okay.
But Jimmy John?
Yeah. Oh,
Jimmy John is sandwiches, too.
It is good.
No, they're not that good.
Anyways, let's talk.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that ate it every
Fine,
single day
they're
at one
not
point. I can tell
Oh, but you can eat Chipotle.
I can eat anything every single day. I did it for years. I saw a combo at Sam's Club, slice of pizza every single work shift. I can do that. I could eat the same thing every single day. I don't think it's a good thing, but I can do it. So, all right, but this is when I think you find about one thing I want to talk about with Wesley Snipes' character Noxima, when you have the one woman that they gossip about that she's like, oh, she doesn't talk, her husband left her, she hasn't said a word, and then when they start talking about the old movies, and then she finally opens up and starts talking, I think that's such a good scene too.
She grabbed.
I was about to mention that too.
Yeah, you know who that is, right?
Not about the movie because you yelled at me.
That old
I
lady.
edited it all out.
Jimmy Joe.
You know who that is, right?
Who?
Jimmy Joe.
No, Clara.
No, I don't know who Clara is.
Yeah, it's hold on.
That's
Yeah, right,
the
there's a dog in your arm.
librarian from the beginning of the first
Alice
Ghostbusters
Drummond.
film.
Yeah,
What were you
Alice
saying,
Drummond.
Phoebe?
That's the librarian from the first Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I knew that.
You did?
No.
When we first
Hang on,
watched it.
it's also Ray Finkel's mom. Laces out.
Oh, God, really?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I really do
She's
love that
in
librarian from
Furry
Ghostbusters.
Vengeance, Daybreak. Oh, Furry Vengeance, Daybreak, House of D. What?
That was from the Dark Side movie.
That kind. Okay, there's a lot. She's in a lot of things. Oh yeah, right here, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
She's a really
The
good
main
character.
villain's mom.
Yes.
In and out. Yeah.
I've seen the movie once and I don't remember a single thing, nor do I ever.
You should not watch that movie. You should watch the second one.
I'm not gonna watch either.
Oh, it's so much worse though.
I've seen parts of the second one. I'm good. I don't need to ever see those movies.
There's
not
a lot of
yes.
older ones.
Oh,
There
so
were a
it's
lot of people in this movie that I knew,
No.
but I was like, why do I know them? Like listening to Carol Ann talk, my brain was going, she sounds so familiar.
Like,
And then when I
Carol
finally looked her
Ann.
up and she's Barbara Gordon from Batman Beyond, I'm like, oh my god,
oh,
she's
that's why I knew her. She's a good actress
She's
too in this. Caroline, the woman that gets
love
beat by
her
Virgil.
from-
that's Stalker Channing.
What?
Who?
Carol Ann is Stalker Channing.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
What?
she's in Practical
What's her
Magic.
name?
That's
Yeah.
her.
Actress.
She was
Oh.
Rizzo in Grease and a whole bunch of other.
Oh yeah, she is. We looked that up earlier. My roommate was shocked that I have never seen Grease.
You don't need to see Grease.
Yeah, I figured.
What are you
Grease is a little
talking?
rapey. Also,
I don't
It's a
care.
John Travolta
Did she
movie.
put
I
up a
definitely
fight?
still need to watch it.
I just got
It's a good
chills,
movie.
and they're
I just like-
multiplying from that answer.
it is a good movie. If you're not into musicals, you don't need to watch it. That's all. But it is a good movie.
If you like
There's a lot of
musicals, it's
good
funny.
actors.
So the part with the shitty men where they won't like say hi to the women, and I when Wesley Snipes grabs the guy's dick and just like, oh god, is that a good scene?
Oh, Noxima, you make the world go round.
It's such a good scene. And the guy's like, she's like, put on a clean shirt when you leave your day.
But it's afternoon, so what do we say? Good afternoon, lady.
Like, how hard is it to be polite? Like,
And if
come
it
on
was
now.
evening, what would you say? Good evening, lady.
Noxima has to squeeze the balls again to get him to say ladies again. Because it's like he just can't, he's like, when they say, oh, are you going to apologize? Fucking assholes. Like,
She will make you.
it's not far off from real people. I've met a lot of people like that. Not far off. I might know a guy that doesn't apologize for anything. Maybe. But hey. And then when the officer is being a fucking creep and he goes to ballet and flower shops, I'm like, you're just shitting at your fucking creep.
I said the same thing. I was like, dude, that's just so creepy. And it's not even that he's just like, oh, okay, just quick look and go. He's like going through the class and like, it doesn't look like they're not here.
But oh my god, you can't tell that these 3 foot, 4 foot tall human beings may not be the people you're looking for.
Right, and what got me was that the instructors just said, no, it's okay, like to the little girls, like, he's a police officer, it's all good.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I mean, it's happened in worst case scenario, especially when, hey. I mean, it's just abuse of power if you're a shitty person. So, but no, I mean, I'm not surprised that people would let a cop say, oh, yeah, come on in and check, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold the paper up to our little girls. Yeah.
It's so stupid, like you can't tell the difference, you idiot. But when they go to the
He
closing
is a
store,
dollar.
yeah, I do like that his name is misspelled and that they didn't bother to pay. They didn't
Every
bother
time-
to pay to fix it. They're like, fuck you, we don't care.
It was great.
Yeah, and he tells everybody it's a myth. Like, who gives a shit? Like when I've had job people mispronounce my name, when oh well, I don't care. You're gonna disappear out of the store in a couple minutes when we're done. Or I don't give a shit what you call me. Get out and pay me.
Right.
Tom called us Albertin.
I don't care what people call me. I don't unless you actually need to know my name and like make me tell you. In my current job, I will say it. But in my like, care what the hell, call me Albert. Call me. Yeah, but he thought my name was Albert too for some reason. Yeah, he just referred to me as Albert, and I was like, then one time I corrected him, like, you didn't correct. I'm like, I wanted to tell you, I hate you. You're a piece of shit, asshole teacher. But it was a study hall teacher, and he used to be a real jerk. So he even got mad at me for reading the book.
And
If
study.
you're doing work, like, read a book. Apparently not read a book.
Fuck those people.
So I'm supposed to do homework. I'm like, well, I don't have homework because I do my work or I do it at home. Like I want to read a book right now. Like what does it matter? I'm just stuck here for 20 minutes because the way our school system is. So, or 45 minutes. Whatever that was. That's my example. And the part, there's one thing that really, like, Tiffany made a point about waste of taxpayer dollars. When the guy's just stopping people in town, like, they have a little to check each person, like, they didn't commit murder.
But he holds a picture up, like, to everybody.
The guy threw you on the ground. It's so shitty.
Even then, though, that's still technically assault of an officer.
Yeah, but when the officer's trying to rape you, I think assault is justified. No, but it should be.
It should be, but not.
If you try to grab somebody's, private part, you deserve to get punched in the.
Nobody is instantly in the right, no matter what quote-unquote authority they have.
Of course not, no.
One thing I do want to mention, when they go to the clothes store and everything is denim that he's selling.
The 90s.
That too, but I think it's more like it's a farming town type stuff. So everybody's wearing denim. Funny. Oh
my god, they have stuff from the 60s.
So I was thinking about this.
70s. 60s. No, it's 60s.
No, it's from the 70s.
They say the 60s in the movie.
Was it 60s?
They say 60s in the movie.
But Phoebe, I don't know if you thought about this, but to them, comparing to the 60s would be us comparing to the 90s.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
My back hurts now, thank you.
Listen, I already have pain and a lot of problems. How dare you make me feel older than I already am?
Did everybody's back just start hurting all of a sudden for no reason at all?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you asshole.
I said it earlier, too.
White hair.
So, okay, I know for a fact you didn't go here, but when I saw that scene, my brain instantly thought of the Garment District that's in Boston. It's a store.
Oh, I didn't know. I did not. I didn't explore Boston enough. I really want to go back.
Next time you're in Boston, you have to go look at the Garment District. It is wild what that store is.
Next time we go, we're going to do more in Boston, but we won't be, because we did a couple things. When we were there for a convention, I got to go to Salem again, though. Salem is fucking cool.
It was raining when we were there.
Yeah.
The more and more you talk, the more and more I get jealous because I have not done any of this stuff, and everywhere you're talking about is where I want to go.
Salem is...
Sarah will grab you.
And the way that all the women dressed in Salem was also, yeah.
Just kidnap me and take me.
It was, yes. I mean, I like goth. And like all the women in Salem are dressed like goth. And it's just like, this is nice.
I mean, we might be a few states closer to that in a few years.
Mario wants to try to move towards that way.
No, well, no, we found a few houses towards Minnesota. So
Minnesota's a nice state. I'll always say that. It's cold. Really
if
fucking
we all
cold.
just take over Minnesota, that would be great.
Everybody from GMF wants to
games.
come up
My
here,
mom
but-
found Central.
yeah, I was about to say, but yeah, apparently we're all moving towards Mike.
Hey, that's fine. I can start my first convention. I'll have people that come up for sure. So hey,
Look here, let's do it.
Let's have it at the Mermaid.
We're gonna have one of the sister wives' houses where they have all in the cul-de-sac. We'll just live right next to each other.
No, but seriously,
to buy out the other side of our twin house.
There we go.
No. But seriously, though, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house to rent to own there is literally less than half of what we pay here.
you're in California. Unfortunately, I mean the prices are bad in California.
We pay 12.
But I don't live there. I
know.
Well, I know the Bay Area is terrible.
No,
I know
To
you're not
start
in the
an
Bay Area.
organization, it's gonna be called Adopt a Californian, where you go ahead and just take us in and love us and care for us.
one house will take someone.
They call you George.
We'll start a Kickstarter for this.
Very much. Don't you want to help out a lonely, sad Californian right now?
Yeah, just you.
No, just me, Mario. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Mario, you're not included in this plan.
Wait, hold on. I do come with 3 little ones, though. That's it.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, now you're leaving Allie behind too. Wow.
Stop. adding more.
And then you make them all cry because you're leaving me behind.
The whole thing is I'm supposed to get in and then bring you over.
That's not how that
I
works.
had to sweeten the deal first. I gotta sugar up to them.
I wasn't born yesterday. I was born 2 years before you.
You ruined everything.
You're welcome.
Now they're not even gonna adopt me.
Exactly. If I gotta suffer, you're suffering with me, babe. That was the deal.
It wasn't till death do apart. It was I would be till death do apart, but it wasn't for happiness and hell. It was just for suffering, apparently. Hey, at least I'm assuming Mario didn't grab the paperwork from the guy that's officiating you and start reading it himself because he got nervous, right?
He took advantage of my ADHD and knew that I would get distracted easily and would not read the fine print.
You realize almost everyone in our generation has ADHD, right? You can't use that excuse anymore.
Don't make me repeat myself. I will use that as an excuse, and that will be it.
Well, some of the other stuff to mention the movie, I guess, that we haven't talked about yet is just kind of the stuff where it leads to eventually. They talk about the Strawberry Social throughout this movie, how originally it starts off being nothing, and then
They go and eat strawberry pie.
Yeah, and that's really all. But then they turn it into something, and I do like that the whole thing, like the Ladies' Day, where they go and they get their hair dressed, like we were talking about. They buy the outfits where they found the 60s.
I was just going to say that's kind of where they started talking about the Strawberry Social, and that's where they started going to what you guys say 60s. Sorry, I liked it because they did this whole runway show. They did a whole makeover, and it was really good. And I got into it and everything. I was like, ooh, each outfit was perfect for each one.
Yeah, work it, Claire, with
Right.
her little
You need
70s.
it helps a person's mentality to have that, especially when they're living such these dull lives as they're not
Mhm.
like people before the characters end up there. Nobody looks happy.
Well,
They all look
yeah,
miserable.
it brought the splash of color back to the town. It brought that liveliness back to what they needed and everything. And honestly, that's what me and my sister said. Was all like, man, we need to do that for the world to begin with. Everything's starting to go like bleak.
With
For
just the
me.
right amount of flamboyancy.
Yes.
Well, it
And
makes
then-
the world go round.
The whole
Yeah.
fact that the reason why the sheriff finds out that they're in the town is because the shitty husband that Vita beats up tells the cop that he got beat up by a
Yeah,
The drink-
Virgil's such a jackass.
yeah.
Oh God. Well, we got Dante to kick his ass.
Shut up.
Hell yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, he deserved to get his ass beat. He deserved to get. I mean, like, I hate the fact that there are men out there that treat women like that. Like, I know it's a real thing, and it just but that's a piece of shit. And he's always
Hey, at
drinking
least he
too.
gets kicked out of the town by the end, or it's kind of like implied that he gets kicked out of the town because he drives away.
I took it more as he was kicked out of the house.
He conceded.
But he wasn't like he didn't. Instead of being like admitting like, hey, I fucked up, he just leaves. He gets in his car and drives away.
Because he doesn't want to have to deal with this, so instead of deal with it, just goes.
Well, he's so sensitive. I mean, a little tiny bit of paprika burns him. Boo hoo.
But also, why would you throw a good just because?
Because he's an asshole.
Have you
The
not
world
heard of the
revolves
invention of
around
milk?
him, Mike.
The invention of milk that cools your tongue when you're eating spicy food?
That's not how it works, Mike. He must have his way.
I mean, I know that's what the whole thing's about. It has nothing to do with this way. And that she dared do something he didn't agree with. So, I also think it's good to see like that they have the character drinking right before he hits her. Or starts being an ass. I think that fits too.
I kind of wanted him to have, like,
I did too. I was a little bummed that he's not more...
Vita kicked his ass.
But, it had some good moments. But, like, the whole thing when he comes back the next day with being like, bring out the drag queens! And making, throwing a shotgun around, like, I mean, one that's...
I am pretty
He's on
sure
that
his
balcony.
finger is on the trigger the entire scene, and I'm like, holy shit, he is going to shoot somebody.
I want to know, how did he get on that balcony so fast, being the little porky guy he was to begin with?
Right?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
I was like, that
fast.
motherfucker, did he climb on his car?
Mimi.
Did he climb on the car, get up there? Did he go run in there with the microphone screaming to still? I don't know. I needed to see that part. It got me. It was hilarious.
you wanted to see him go in the building, run up the stairs, and walk out there.
Yeah, something. How did he get up there? Because it takes like a scene away, and then he's up on the thing screaming out on the microphone. Not microphone, the megaphone. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a little bit like, he's such a piece of shit. And the whole thing where he's like, bring out the drag queen, the shoe, like... Oh, but...
And
Fucker
everybody
standing lifts her thing.
coming out.
So good. And
I'll stand behind him.
I said this to Tiff, and she didn't get the joke, but I said, like, an I'm sorry to kiss scene.
Ah!
Thank you, Phoebe.
Boo.
I'm a drag queen. No, I'm a drag queen.
I love when the black guy does it and he touches his chest too. He's like, I'm a drag queen.
It was great. I love
Nice.
that part.
You'd
But
be a good drag queen. Mm-hmm.
my sister pointed out to me the dress looked like Beetlejuice a little bit.
Yes.
The red one?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
when
does
she's
look like
walking out,
Beetlejuice.
it looked like Winona Ryder's red dress at the end with the wedding and everything. We were like, what is happening?
That is, I mean, and how her face is covered, and even that's a really good part.
And she lifts
That
it,
was
and
a
they're
great
both like,
part.
"That's not the one. Not the right drag
But
queen."
it's so powerful. Stands up for these people, so and chases out the sheriff. Like even the shitty guys that tried to rape someone not that long ago.
Speaking of the
they're all
shitty
cleaned
guys,
up.
that was the part that I liked a lot. That they're all clean up. They're gentlemen now. They, their character development. But what I absolutely loved was that one of the characters had a shirt with a bull that had strawberries on it. My sister died and wants that shirt now. She's like, I don't care how we get it. She wants it.
Check.
I
Emma.
agree. That was a great shirt.
They got those shirts and that whole attire pretty damn fast.
Yeah, they did. I was like, everybody just had bright red sitting in their closet. I kind of.
They knew what was going to happen. They already had it ready. They were just waiting for someone to say it for the excuse to do it.
Yes.
But it's such a feel good moment. The way it all it really makes you feel good, and it gives you. I mean, if this wasn't a movie, it gives you faith in people. This is a movie, but it's still really good. I don't have faith in people anymore. I try.
I can understand that.
It's hard in 2025. But so one of the scenes that really makes me smile is when the sheriff is just standing at his car complaining about the drag queen and about the founding fathers, and this random guy just went to him and has that line. You know something about the founding fathers? They sure had fabulous wigs.
Yeah.
For a one-liner, that was pretty good.
Irony.
It's really good. When we talk a little bit about it, I want to go back to it. The scene when Vita's about to tell Carol Ann that that she's a man, and when she says Adam's apple 6 times in the 30 seconds that we counted today.
We did.
Tiffany's upset about it because I mean, saying Adam.
Yeah, it overloaded my sentence.
You're a woman with an Adam's apple. Women don't have Adam's apples. Like
the first thing I noticed was your Adam's apple.
I think she was trying to drop the hint there a little bit with the Adam's apple.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like Polyphosaurus. Start using neck, other words. I don't know. But it's still such a good I mean, and also that last part when she's like, I don't see you as a woman, but I don't see you as a man, but I don't see you, but I see you out. I mean, Tiffany has said, she said a little loud, like, you need to say it that loud.
So I like the line, the sentiment behind it. I don't like how she delivered it. It was like she was just kind of stiff and standing there and shouting at her, like, I'm your friend. But it's a good part, though. That's just
it could be, she's been emotionally stunted because of Virgil. She's been
that's
hurt
very
enough
true.
times.
That's true.
And it fits the idea. I mean, like, when I feel like people that are in those type of situations, you're going to end up and there's just nothing else there. So that person doesn't need to be better. Like, they can be the shithead because what are you going to do? And that's how, I mean, I know that's a real thing. I know people like that. So,
yeah,
that's all I'll say, But I'm trying to think. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, but how they steal the picture of Judy Newmar that she signed, Julie Newmar, that she signed at that restaurant, and then gave it to this woman in Nebraska. Like, you stole that.
It's fine. It was a sacrificial token of their pilgrimage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I kind of thought too. Was I kind of saw it as the token that kind of brought them a little bit of misfortune and then made them learn.
Yes.
Besides, how can you not love Julie Newmar? She's so statuesque.
I had no idea who Julie Newmar was, for the record. I still don't completely, other than I know she's an actress, and she's still alive, actually. She's 91. I looked it up.
She's one of the 2 Catwomen for Adam West.
Yes.
Maybe.
I
she's
I'm going to say something terrible that you're not going to forgive me for.
You don't like that Batman?
I don't like Batman 66.
Shut up.
Okay, it's different.
Oh, man!
And I can understand.
But it's supposed to be campy and stupid.
I know, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love campy and stupid.
Yeah. Can we just talk about, the cast for a second?
Sure, please.
You have your main cast, and then you have Blythe Danner, and we talked about Alice Drummond, and Naomi Campbell has a little cameo, and Mr. Mike
I sort of do because you talked about her and she's in an episode of RuPaul.
And you have Lady Bunny as a drag queen, and Miss Coco Peru is also a drag queen in there. And I think there's another one.
There's a bunch of drag queens playing themselves.
Misunderstood, which I forgot about that, but
okay.
But I think there's a lot, like even the character actors, and you got a Stalker Channing. I love Channing.
She's good.
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
And the very last scene of this movie is when they go to California, which is really cute. That she's the one that wins. And to be fair, he pulls off a drag queen.
I think he just needed a different wig. I honestly think that their dress was great. Needed a different wig, different kind of style hair. That's what I feel like.
No pussycat.
She also needed a completely different style at points because the red dress that she wears at the Strawberry Festival, oh my god, that whole ensemble is awful.
Chiquita Banana Lady. No, so I saw something on YouTube. John Leguizamo said that he purposely made his face paler because all the women in his face wore lighter makeup because they're ashamed of their browner skin. And so at the end of the movie, that it's like all toned properly.
He makes a comment in the movie too.
Yeah, he said that he's gonna find a toner or a foundation that matches his color.
And so he said at the end, he felt like when he had matched makeup on, that he felt like that was his arc closing. He went from a little baby drag queen to the winner.
Puerto Rican boy in a dress.
Puerto Rican. Come on, it's still
little Latin boy.
Oh yeah.
Little Latin boy dressed in a dress.
Just the way he
like
says
60
it.
times in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, and then the last part is Julie Newmar puts a crown on Chi-Chi.
She doesn't have any lines, but
No
it's perfect.
speaking line either.
It's perfect.
It is.
Now, who was Wong Foo? Do we need to know? No.
I'm kind of curious.
I tried looking it up, and it's not a person like a real
my
person.
sister kept asking, was this the end of it? Is that all? What about the journey? Who is To Wong Foo? She was
Wong
like,
Foo is not a real person. It's just the calling. If you're going by the hero of 1,000 faces, that's the hero's calling.
Maybe they called John Jacob again.
There's also, they probably drove the Cadillac back, but there's a small scene too that we didn't talk about, or near the end, where Vita's like, "I'm gonna go and talk to my parents and have them, you don't have to, agree with it. You have to accept it."
Yeah, I kind of had to mourn what you're not going to get on that, so you could be able to move on. It would have been a good. I would have loved to seen her kind of tell her mom off, and you know what, our mom, love me, hate me, I am who I am, kind of thing. I would have loved that moment.
Damn.
And I think that's what that's what this movie is going for. Like, this movie is telling you to be happy with who you are, and aren't going to be okay with it. Like, you have to be true to yourself, or you will never be happy. And that is 100%.
You can't please everybody. There's someone you're going to make mad, but you know what? That's not your problem. That's their problem.
Like, I mean, unless also the kind of goal. I mean, like, you have to do what makes you happy. Unless making you happy, killing people, then don't do that. But like, that's the whole thing. Is me making this podcast is me being true to myself, me to get my voice out there, and I have been happier because I create this every week, 3 times a week, but 4 times sometimes.
I was about to say only 3.
Yeah,
it's 3 to 4.
I did it every day for a week, and I was really irritated.
I know if I don't do it too often. That was for the Game of the Year stuff. So I only do it once a year. If I did it,
I can't even do it.
I know, but that's why I only do it once a year, because if I did it too often, I might end up being a single guy living in the basement. So
no, you wouldn't be in this basement. You'd be going to live with your mom's cats.
Oh, that's good. I can't go back. No.
Can I just say that I like the nod to Rent in Vita's name, Vita Boheme?
So that movie Rent?
It's a song.
Oh.
It's Viva Boheme is the song.
Not Viva Las Vegas.
No, please don't do that.
Great. No,
it came in my mind when she said Viva just now. So I feel the need to.
The Flintstones one.
You sing out loud when stuff.
Rock Vegas, really?
Yes, I thought of Rock Vegas. Okay, that was a great one. My childhood there. Anyways.
Oh, you're good. We were trying to rescue Funko Pops that our dog wanted, the temporary dog wanted you on.
Good dog.
No.
Hey now.
The black-eyed kids.
He's threatening the Funko Pops. The Phoebe is.
The Phoebe.
Which Funko Pop?
The Phoebe is signing the Funko Pop.
Yes. They cursed them.
Now, we have a lot. You
The
and
black-eyed children. You don't let black-eyed children into the house.
You know, that's the first. When I first saw them, I was like, their eyes. It's like they're looking into my soul.
Hey, some are Phoebe. If you want, I can send you one with black eyes, white eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Some as big as your head.
And just give them a twist to flick at the rest.
I love you. You got the joke.
I don't get it.
It's from a stupid Monty Python skit. So the only reason I knew it is one of my exes kept singing that song at one point forever.
Tanya.
Yeah, it was in her head, and so it ended up in my head, and I haven't thought about it in a long time, but it just somehow jogged a memory.
Now it's going to show up randomly all the time.
Oh, you guys just reminded me. So right before we started this recording, I sat down, pulled out my phone, as I do every moment of my life, and I'm part of some random Final Fantasy memes, jokes, and other stuff. And this guy had posted a picture of Eris talking to Tifa, and it said, "Little Latin boy in drag." And so, me being me, I said, "Hey, I'm about to cover that in my podcast. Here's my mom phone." And hey, he replied, "So this is on Spotify." Yes, it is. So,
Did he really?
hey, I am always trying to plug this show. I will never stop.
I plug it for you sometimes. The moment's right.
Yeah.
That's okay. I just try to put mine into my college class and stuff to see if I can get some of my friends into it.
I've been mentioning it more on videos and stuff to people go listen to games my mom found.
I mean, you are on a lot of it too. I'm trying.
Well, I would like to be on more, but
Okay, Phoebe, what's our
you know,
next movie?
they have me shackled to the machine right now.
Hey, what if they could, Phoebe?
Oh, I know.
Give them a couple more years of the rate we're at the road we're going, and so. But I can be shackled on my desk. I'm here anyway, so I'll be okay. I just need a more comfy chair. I think I broke part of this chair. All right, any
What's
last thing to say about this movie?
Chair.
It's not a folding chair either, Phoebe. It's actually a nice desk chair.
It is approved by Drake.
The desk chair?
No, sorry,
Okay.
the movie.
I was wondering. I mean, could be right. I don't know.
My brain was a little slow when you said, "Do you have anything else to say?"
All that water you've been drinking.
It's okay. We still love you, Tiff.
What I hate, there's stupid lines that live in my head. One is, "I've been drinking again." It's from Grand Theft Auto 3. One of the random pedestrians says it to you when you drive, and it lives in my head. Or, "My mother's my sister." Also lives in my head from Grand Theft Auto 3.
My mother's.
Don't know why, but those two stupid things live in my head in that voice.
Did you just say my mother is my sister's from Grand Theft Auto 3?
Somebody says it in Grand Theft Auto 3 when you're driving around.
It's older than that.
No, I know, but that's where I know it from. Because it was in that game.
Auto
Because I
has some of
played
the most
way too
ridiculous
much Grand Theft Auto 3 in my life. So that was our game at one point. We would just play. Me and Rich in his little closet room.
Red Fox.
I call him Rich.
He calls himself Red Fox.
He doesn't introduce himself, and I call him Rich immediately after that. Because I don't care. But, all right, I think anything else you guys want to say before I go on another rant? And before we wrap up this episode, I have a special guest that came in last minute that I want to add into here. So I guess maybe one last drag queen we could say. Since that's and Kyle, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. And to quote my favorite line from the movie, "I've got more legs than a bucket of chicken."
This movie is a very sweet movie.
Yes, I agree. I love this movie so much. I do apologize for not joining in on the main festivities of the recording, but I'm glad I could make it onto a little side note. Yes, I love this movie so much. I discovered it actually fairly recently, within the past 9 years, I guess almost 10 years. Geez, it's already been a good couple of years. But yeah, I was quite surprised when I saw the movie. I didn't know what to really expect, except knowing that it's from the 90s. And I'm like, I don't know if this will have aged well. But honestly, even from my first viewing, I had a blast with the movie. It's consistently funny. The writing is very sharp without ever punching down. Even for the rare moments where I feel like it is punching down, it doesn't ever really feel that like mean-spirited or anything.
No,
I feel like the cast.
No, I was gonna say it doesn't feel like it's making fun of itself like the first season of Big Bang Theory for a bad example.
It's never, it never really feels like it's really punching down a lot or anything like that. Like it really, like, I really appreciate this movie for like actually feeling like these people are people. Like the drag queens are people, and they're they're humans. They're people. It's never like, oh, look at these people, aren't they fucking weird? Like, no, like, all of these characters are people, and, like, it's amazing just how damn sweet this movie is. Like, this feels like a forerunner for, like, Schitt's Creek, oddly enough. Like, for taking the idea of, like, whoa, these wild and wacky city characters are in this small town, and it's like a fish out of water experience where like it's amazing how well this movie all works together and how well it works together. Like, I love this movie so much. The casting is perfect. I love the relationship between Noxeema, who's Wesley Snipes, and the woman who runs the movie house, or who used to run the movie house. Like, yes, and like their friendship. That's like, I hope to have that friendship in my life with somebody where like we're two entirely different like fucking people, but like we love movies and we could just have a discussion just about movies that could go on for like hours. Like, that was such a beautiful relationship, and I thought it was so adorable when they would talk about like old Hollywood and like these set decorations in movies and the costumes, and just like I thought that was such a beautiful friendship. And like, I remember seeing this movie for the first time. So here's a really fun little story. My first time ever actually seeing this movie was in theaters, and it, like, I know that sounds weird, but like, wait, how though? Like, because, you know, like, I didn't see this movie in '95 when I was 5 years old. Like, I saw this in 2000. Yeah, I saw this in like 2000. I believe 16. I saw this. Yeah, I believe it was 2016 or 17. So at the time,
cool that they had it in theaters.
Yeah. So the story about this is my city, for its Pride event, for the Pride for June, for Pride Month, was actually doing a screening of this movie for Pride. And one of the local queer community centers in my city pretty much packed the theater with everybody from their headquarters for this movie. And I was there too. Like, I was there as well. And yeah, like, everyone had a blast. And that was my first time ever seeing this movie, and I just had a ball. And the other times, the sufficient times I've seen this movie as well since then have all been a blast. And like, every single time I watch this movie, I just fall in love with that relationship, like between Noxeema and the woman that used to run the movie house. I just think that's such a beautiful friendship. Like, I think that's such a beautiful friendship. Like, just someone who just, you know, who doesn't communicate at all anymore, and someone who will do all the talking, and they can just communicate. They just have this way of communicating. That's so beautiful, and I love it. And I'm sorry, I know for some people they might find that hokey or just like, oh, that's so corny. But like, I'm sorry, I think that's really beautiful, and I love it. And yeah, I just love this movie. I think I'm stunned at how well it's actually aged as a film. Like, this movie is aged extremely well considering the circumstances. Like, this could have been way more mean-spirited and punchy and everything. But like, no, this movie is like, actually, for being a comedy too, it's surprisingly gentle with its subject matter. It's funny when it needs to be without being too punchy or mean-spirited or, you know, punching downward. Like, the cameos are funny at the beginning, especially Robin Williams as John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Like, oh my God. Like, I always forget he's in this fucking movie. And then he'll come in with that mustache. I'm like, what the fuck? That's Robin Williams. Oh my God.
He's great in that part.
And then to finally have Julie Newmar at the end of the movie when they go to the ball in Hollywood for the drag queen competition, and like, that's such a great cameo to like top off the movie. It's, you know, it's like, it's the cherry on like the milkshake. It's the cherry on the cake. Like, that's literally the perfect like little cherry on this beautiful cake of a movie, and that's so good. And this movie's soundtrack is excellent. Like, I have such a soft spot for 90s movie soundtracks, and this soundtrack rules. And yeah, I'm so happy that I could get a chance to talk about this movie once again. This is, of course, such a fun and hilarious movie.
I'm glad you got to see it in theaters. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. Tiff really wants to see this in theaters, and she's like, well, it's 30th anniversary this year. And I'm like, yeah, anything to play here. Not in our current climate, we ain't gonna see it. So
yeah, hopefully, maybe if you know, someone in your local city has a backbone for Pride and does something like this, because that would be.
I mean,
really
they might in June.
Do. Yeah,
I'm hoping that it just like, because I'm used to like Fathom events. Oh,
yeah, of course.
Doesn't have this planned.
Fathom events is usually the populist kind of thing. There's usually the populist thing with stuff like this. But, you know, like, hopefully maybe in June, if there's some Pride spirit going around and something may happen like this. Like, this would be such a beautiful thing to do. Like, just showing this type of a movie in our current political climate of just like, yo, like, queer people are fucking people too. Like, Jesus, like, there was all that stupid crap about drag queens over the past couple of years, and it's just like,
like last 10 years.
This is so manufactured, and this is so disingenuous and manufactured. Like, drag queens are people, queer people are queer people are people, and like, this movie is hilarious and excellent and is just a fun time at the movies and is a really well-made comedy.
I mean, the whole issue with drag queens, I think, comes from just stupid toxic masculinity and people being attracted to a guy dressed as a woman and being upset that it's not a woman type of bullshit. I think that's where a lot of work comes from. But
yeah, it's a bunch of garbage, just toxic garbage.
I watch a lot of RuPaul, and some of those drag queens are like, you wouldn't know. Courtney Act, look her up, and like, yeah, you would never know. Like, my God, it's beautiful.
I'm actually a terrible queer, because it's actually been a while since I've watched RuPaul's Drag Race, but I've had some favorites over the years. I especially loved from a couple of seasons ago, Rock M. Sakura, who was this drag queen who was like a total weeaboo, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's me. Oh God.
My wife got hugely into RuPaul, so I watched a lot of RuPaul off and on and would see it.
That's fantastic.
So during this movie, one thing I kept making, I was like laughing about. I'm like, hey, no, they wouldn't. I'm like, Wesley Snipes wouldn't have won. No, the other drag queens look better than she does, and they're performing better. Like, he shouldn't be winning.
But also, ironically, speaking of RuPaul's cameo in this movie is also fantastic. I mean, of all of the great like drag names, like, being a black person and being a drag queen and naming yourself Rachel Tension, like, that is the greatest drag name. Yes, and she's wearing a Confederate flag, like, sexy dress. It's like, so I'm sorry, wearing a Confederate flag, sexy, like, lounge dress, naming yourself Rachel Tension.
I did not catch that, because I was wondering why she didn't just go by her, normal name, RuPaul. I was like, why is she?
Yeah, she's making she's doing something different for that, and like, honestly, she almost won the movie with that. Like, that is the greatest drag name that I've ever heard, and like, only someone like RuPaul could ever do that and pull that off. Is like, that's perfect. Like, you can't be topped if you're a black person being a drag queen, naming yourself Rachel Tension.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Like, I did not. We talked about that, but I did not catch that part.
That is a beautiful cameo, and that's amazing. But yeah, I love this movie, and I'm so happy you talked about it on the podcast.
Thanks to my wife.
Your wife has.
It was one of those movies that for a while, and then I'm just like, well, let's do it. So
hell yeah,
it's one of those things.
Once again, your wife has good taste. Very good taste.
And I didn't, like, as I said earlier, I did enjoy this movie. Like, this, it's a really touching movie, and you know, I think it's quality made. It has a lot of meaning to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else you want to say about the movie? Should we go to your shelf stacker box?
No, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I've wanted to cover. Great cast, great writing. Love the three mains as well. Like, it's amazing how well Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, and Patrick Swayze all bounce off of each other. Like, it's shocking how good they are. Like,
that's because Patrick Swayze's a freaking amazing actor too. So that helps.
Patrick Swayze
all three are.
Yeah, they all are, but like, especially Patrick Swayze. He was so damn great, and I don't know. I feel like for a good while he was. I feel like in his later years he was so underrated. I feel like people only thought of him as one thing when he could do so many other things. Like, rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. But just I don't know. Like, I can't. Yeah, I agree. But I can't think of a better movie to cap off a damn good career than this movie. A perfect cap.
All right. And where would you rank this movie, Kyle? Shelf, stacker, box?
Shelf. This would, like, I would have this on Blu-ray. I'd have this on VHS. I'd have this on DVD. I'd have it on Laserdisc. Like, this is a fun as hell movie. This is a great party movie. This is a great watch by yourself movie. You know, like, it doesn't matter what situation you're in. You could bring this along for a sleepover. You could bring this along as whatever, and it's a fun watch. It's funny. It's timely. It's well made. It's it's clever. Like, this is just a really damn solid movie.
All right. And where do people find you at?
You can find me on Blue Sky at chibufo.bluesky or .bsky.social. And you can find my podcast you can find my podcast, the Unidentified Flying Obsession Podcast. Yeah, you can find my podcast. Sorry, that sound threw me off. You can find me on my podcast at Unidentified Flying Obsession Podcast.
All right, thank you. And stay tuned for the rest of the rankings.
No, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box.
All right. And Phoebe, why don't you go first?
I'm putting this on the shelf. This movie holds up so well. It's so positive. They all look fabulous in this movie. Almost all the jokes hit. It's just a feel-good time.
She stopped talking.
Okay.
Okay.
My earbud got pulled on my ear, and then my wife went do 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 do. And ow. And Tiffany, what about you? Give me that.
It's a shelf for me. I agree with everything Phoebe said. It still holds up. It's funny. It was funnier than I remembered. It's funny. It's a good message. And Patrick Swayze and Drake.
Patrick Swayze, we lost him too soon, too. Still sad about that one, too.
He's gone?
Yeah, he died a while ago. He had cancer. He was battling cancer.
I did not know this.
Yes,
No, he died in like the 90s.
No, I think it's a 2000.
2000s.
Look,
Like early.
I'm gonna just sit there and tell you, it took me years and
2009.
decades for me to find out Bob Marley died.
2009.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought he died a lot earlier than that.
No,
No,
Swayze's 2009. He passed away
Oh
I
wow!
was a freshman in high school.
September 2009.
Well, I think he was
Oh,
in the
God, not
90s.
my
He's
birthday.
in Donnie Darko. I'm so dumb.
I have never seen Donnie Darko still.
You
to this
should
day.
watch Donnie Darko. You should you should take a drug or two before you watch Donnie Darko.
I'm interested in that movie.
You need Donnie.
Am I allowed to get high around you? You get mad at me.
You touched too much.
I know.
Oh God, please,
You
yes.
need to be high for Donnie Darko.
Okay, because
You need to be.
I haven't gotten high in a long time because touching thing, and I'm like, keep life soft. She's like, get away from me. So that's why I haven't gotten high.
Go by yourself while you're at work. See what happens.
No.
We'll need you to film this.
Record while high? Yes, that can be done. It's been proven on this podcast many, many times. So, Sierra, what about you? Shelf Stacker Box.
Honestly, Shelf, I wouldn't mind watching this again. Like, it's good. It was funny. I didn't know how to explain it. Like, it did make me kind of cringe in some moments because I was just like, I couldn't see it this way. I like I said before, if someone would have showed me this movie when I was a kid, it would have been a classic growing up, like a lot of them. But because I've seen them in different things, it could have. Watching them now, it just was all like, oh God, why? But it's good, but why? It was like this scene off of Open Season. Oh, coffee's so good, but it can't stop tasting. So gross, ew, gross, ew. Yeah, that's how I felt with it. I loved it, and it was just so many good moments that it's just like, oh, but Chi, why? But why do you have to look? Why? But I was like, yeah, loved it, but I would have to put it on the shelf, and I want to show my daughter this later on. This will be great. Sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. That's what this point is for. And Mario.
This is more of a stack for me, mainly because it's more of a movie that I can just put on the background, and then maybe later on throughout the day I'll sit down and watch it for a little bit, but then get back to whatever I'm doing.
Okay.
It's a good movie though. It's just not my shelf.
No, that's fine.
It is
Go next. So, I'm actually going to put this on the shelf. Originally, I was thinking stack, but the more we talked about it, I rewatched this movie today against my will, and it really is growing on me. Like, I laughed a lot. I mean, I don't like comedies that much. My thing, like, and this movie just has a lot of meaning to it and a lot of heart. I mean, I had complaints that went away, so I'm putting it on the shelf. Just
Cough twice if you need help.
it's more my complaint with Wesley Snipes doesn't pull off track. He's too manly. So that was my complaint. But also,
Here, those braids and that pussycat wig was not working out for you
and
again.
I'm also sad that he didn't say he's tired of ice skating uphill. So hey,
That would have been.
that line is so stupid. And I don't know if I've said this earlier. Once a year, I try to do a movie episode for her that means something. Should have said this earlier, but hey, since you're still here, you can hear it now.
See, that's
I believe
which
you
one?
did.
I might have. I don't remember. That was 2 hours ago.
why I made you pause.
I know. Oh, and I guess we should just go to plugs. And Phoebe, where can people find you at?
Hi, I'm the Let's Play Princess. You can find me over on YouTube and Twitch making videos currently about Okage and 13 Sentinels, which are both interesting games. You can also find me on Blue Sky and Twitter as the LP Princess, as one of the co-hosts on Nerds of Broadcast, and on many other podcasts, including this, Gamer Looks at 40, and hopefully by the time this comes out, Jack Billings Presents.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that you're on that too.
Yeah, soon, as of this recording.
This will be out next week, hopefully. That's the plan. Or not that long, not that far away, actually. It's gonna be out the 20th is when it's happening. So
Soon, as of this recording.
yeah,
Soon-ish.
that's pretty soon for the way I record. 5 days is short for me. And Mario Sierra, where can we find you guys? Where people find you at?
You can find us on Spotify, on Bias Gaming, or on Facebook at Bias Gaming Media and Cosplay, or on Games My Mom Discord with you guys.
Yes, come listen with the warden and her prisoners.
All right, if you enjoyed this episode, over 750 other episodes of the podcast. We do movies, TV shows, comics, video games, all sorts of content. You never know what you're going to find. I never know what I'm going to produce. So, hey, but if you want to support the show, we do a Patreon, little dog vote, Patreon poll a month. So great, we support the show. This was on a Patreon poll and didn't win. So it took longer. But hey, vote, makes things happen sooner. And if you want to talk with us, you want to be on the show, if you lurk on the Discord, you every episode. It is free. People can charge for Discord. I do not.
Really?
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
You can lock behind Patreon stuff. People do. I do not.
That's mean.
So, and want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena. You can follow her at Hellhouse Fury on Instagram and TikTok. Definitely go check her out. And check out the Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. Still talking Final Fantasy, but definitely go check out his podcast. He's talking Final Fantasy forever. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Thread, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, rate and review for podcast. And I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, darlings.